Wait a minute. This is mean. This is mean. Wolf's and Eugen choices were so obvious. This one's kinda difficult. Our future will be fine either way. Why do you keep talking about our future? So do we want to press him on the relationship between him and Elfriede? Or do we want to pressure him on the... or do we not want to pressure him, you know? Shit! Shit, I really don't know. I really don't know. Our future will be fine either way. Is that acknowledging that our future is a possibility? Or is this like just ignoring the whole fact that there may be something between him and Elfriede? And why do you keep talking about our future? Or do we need to press him on the topic so that we talk about the topic? But there is a question mark and an exclamation point. It's like yelling at him. That's not nice. Our future will be fine either way. Elfriede, I'll be here for you, always. You know that. Yes. But I need to be stronger. Much stronger. But why? Like I said, you don't need to. Answer me, August. Why? Because you are the most important person here. August, the most important person that's left in my life. Everyone else leaves me, Elfriede. They die, or they have enough of me, and they go. But you've always been here. And I've never repaid you. I've only ever cared about being there for you. And I still haven't managed to repay you. Eugen offered me a job at the fields. A good one. But I chose to work here with you. But I never toughened up and I never became a real man for you. August, you repay me by being here with me. How do you plan to keep repaying me if you're dead? I welcome that change of plans. Then I won't live a guilty life. And everyone will know that I gave everything for you. God damn it. No. Okay. You'd really die for me? You shouldn't die just to prove a friendship. I don't want to kill him with the friendship one. Oh, no. You'd really die for me? I think, like, the first one is probably the right decision, kinda. Like, making feel August better about himself or something. That sounds too ridiculous. Like, it's one thing to say, I appreciate your sentiment to go to war for me, Eugen. But it's another thing to say, you'd really die for me, August? Oh, I'm so flattered. You know, these are two different pair of shoes. Friendship. Yes, why are you going to do all this just for one of your friends? Yeah, I'm sorry, August. I know. I would have said, if we're cool then again, I would have said neither of these things. Man. Those were shitty choices. Because there's clearly nothing else that I can do for her. What? Whether you want me or not, I can be the man you deserve. I can put my life on the line for you. And if I die, then I die knowing that I'm as much of a man as any other. And that will always be true. I didn't know I'd driven him to feel this way. He doesn't need to impress me. Why does he care what I think? Now the stupid boy has signed his life away, and not even Eugen, the eternal optimist, can say for sure that he'll make it back. August, it's getting late. Yeah, thanks for the tea. What time are you leaving tomorrow? The crack of dawn. Miss Raus, would you like to... Yes, I will come to the train station and see you off. Good. Quiet calm. Things are deflating. I think we both know that whatever happens, and whatever could have been, All we can do now is wait. Are you still going to visit Hilda's grave? I will be heavily fatigued tomorrow if I take an hour-long detour to visit the grave of my pet rabbit from primary school before going to bed. Okay. Yes, good point. Will not go. That is not what I said. Oh man. Now I feel like an ass. God, I feel like such an ass. We took a walk to Hilda's grave on the outskirts of town. August had dug her a little one on the edge of the big cemetery. Okay. It was a somber moment. Was someone we knew going to end up here sooner than they'd like? Eugen, Wolf, August. Hopefully everything would be alright. Hopefully everything would be over before Christmas, like people have been saying. Maybe everyone would come back fine. Maybe it's like Eugen said. Death happens to other people. But if he's wrong, it just doesn't bear thinking about. Early the next morning I set out to fulfill my promise. Oh my god! I don't know if this is a German station, but that looks a lot. I mean, probably stations in the whole world don't look that different. But the benches look 100% like at my home station. Or at least very similar. The train station is teeming with men in uniform, and their families seeing them off. I told August I'd meet him here, but he's cutting it. Worryingly fine. I feel awkward being the only unaccompanied woman here, but I realize that nobody's looking at me. Everyone is somewhat preoccupied with their own affairs. Oh, Elfriede! All of a sudden, Eugen's jaunty tones ring out across the platform, and soon he sauntered up to me. He appears to be alone. Eugen, is your mother here? Unfortunately, I had to make my farewells this morning. Mrs. Reinhold's fever has flared up once more, and she remains bedridden. Ah, sorry to hear that. Still, it is rather comforting to see a familiar face from amongst the townsfolk here, after all. You are a very veritable ray of sunlight on this chilly, foggy morning. As usual, one had to decode Eugen's speech to isolate the elements of sincerity. But this seemed more sincere than usual. Not that that is saying much. How are you feeling? Understandably trepidatious. Yeah, on the morning of war, I also feel trepidatious. Yeah, though I am confident that basic training will elevate any and all of my concerns regarding the Borsberg men's current nature as somewhat of a rebel. I looked over and, other than men saying goodbye to their parents, wives and children, a large contingent were hanging out of the train, roaring and singing. They certainly don't seem the most refined of gentlemen right now. Ha! Everyone is very excited, and I'm not sure they are necessarily in the most noble frame of mind. Still, I am sure that by the time we find ourselves in Vermorel, a generous helping of military discipline will have long since curbed their more rambunctious tendencies. Suddenly Wolf, seemingly catching wind of the accusations of degeneracy, sidles up to us. Shut up! How can you join a conversation with shut up? Eugen, don't concern yourself with the rebel. They'll be the first out the door. Wait, you mean... I mean, either they'll fix their behavior pretty damn sharpish, or they'll be pushing daisies. Punishing daisies. Maybe it's punishment for daisies to grow over corpses. I don't know. Doesn't make any difference to me, and it shouldn't make any difference to you. Flattered as I am that you choose to chip in with your valuable opinion at this moment in time, Hausmann. Elfriede has come to see the venerable Borsberg men off, and the best you can muster are flimsy provocations. I'm not sure why you came, Elfriede, but whatever. Thanks, I guess. I wasn't trying to provoke anyone. I was just saying. I doubt it'll be that forgiven out there. If you're gonna die, then you're gonna die. So don't bother worrying about them idiots. It's as fair as it can be. A free market of death. A lovely image to be leaving us with, Wolf. A free market of the... Elfriede, don't be so morbid. I wasn't. It was Wolf who... never mind. Sorry. And Hausmann, If you once contained a single ounce of truth, and a man's competence was indeed genetic, then what would be the purpose of strategy, eh? What strategy do we need? Good soldiers kill bad ones. Wrestling's got more good ones than Leyland does. Weak Wrestlingers die. We got soldiers left. Weak Leylandians die. They've got none. We win. Flawless logic. Gotta say. That's a good one. That's a good one. A morbid one, but a good one. Yes, well, be that as it may. We cannot be leaving our compatriots behind with such wicked abandon. Whatever. I thought I was helping, but fine. Get to fuck. What the fuck? Thanks so much for coming over, Wolf. This is all really helpful so far. Shut up. Another cutting witticism for the conversational thrust and parry. And I am forced to reiterate, Wolf. Precisely why are you here with us? Got nothing else to do? Who are you with? Can you not bother those poor souls instead? Didn't come with anybody. Who'd come see me off? Family? Friends? Neither of those are... my strong suit. Wolf puts his hands in his pockets and slouches, glancing scornfully at the touching scenes we're surrounded by. He looks grumpy and nobody's saying anything. This isn't going how I pictured at all. Suddenly, Wolf takes a hand out of his pockets, clicks his fingers and looks at me. Well, I remember. You should have this. From his other pocket, Wolf produces a small, rusted knife with a scratched, half-rotted wooden handle. He pushes it into my hands. Handle first. He pushes it handle first into my hands. Oh, I didn't even get that. Oh, I didn't even get that. Oh, I didn't even... Of course, handle first. I mean, yeah, of course. He's stupid and stuff. Wolf's bad, but he's not a psychopath. You're telling it yourself. Have you honestly been working up to giving me this? No. What? Oh God. You have? Well, regardless, shouldn't you be keeping this? No. Don't know if you can tell from the rust. This ain't exactly military issue. They do give us actual weapons, you know. This is just... I had this lying around. You are giving Elfriede farewell presents. How's man, your old dog? It's not a present. She said last night about feeling safe. But you never know what them Leylandians are gonna try. I wouldn't put it past them to come and storm an innocent town like this. Ergo knife. Oh. Well. Thank you, Wolf. When the hell am I ever going to find a use for this? I'm just sort of carrying a dirty old knife around now. Great. Thanks, Wolf. You'll probably need that when you'll get to the front, some way or the other. A whistle rings out across the platform, and a voice can be heard beckoning passengers to board. The men share one last embrace with their families and begin to gravitate toward the train. Where's August? I have no idea. If he does not act fast, he may find himself missing this dispatch altogether. He'll technically be deserting. I am sure they will be lenient. When it's particularly hapless civilians turning soldier overnight, they are bound to struggle with discipline initially. But the war will probably be over by the time he finally finds his way to the field. It is indeed a tragedy that at this rate he will not find his absolution. This is it then. Farewell, Elfriede. May the gods reunite us before too long. See you. Goodbye. Eugen bows before taking my hand and landing a peck on it. I'm too stunned to really respond to that, but I know that it's just gentlemanly decorum. Wolf rolls his eyes and sighs. Without a further word, the two hurry and board the train. Once everyone has boarded and the conductors are making their final checks off the platforms, the slamming of a heavy gate can be heard, followed immediately by a familiar squawking. Wait! Oh my gosh! Wait! August sprints onto the platform in full uniform and dragging a heavy bag over his shoulder. As he passes, he catches sight of me out of the corner of his eye and skids to a halt. Elfriede, I'm so sorry. I lost track of time. Elfriede, it means the world that you came to... Go! Yep, okay. August runs past in a flurry, hurling his small bag of personal effects into the nearest carriage. Just before embarking, he runs back to me. I don't know where this is going. August stands frozen. His eyes meet mine. Elfriede. August shuts his eyes and takes a deep breath. The second he opens his mouth to say what he has planned, another whistle rings out and a cloud of thick steam gushes forth into the air. August leaps up, and his panic is palpable. Go! Yes, bye! He sprints for the train, practically jumping on board. As it steams off, I wave at Eugen and August as they hang out of the window, amidst a crowd of men with similar ideas. And then, they're gone. Is this the end of chapter 1? No, it isn't. 8 weeks later. It's been a couple of months. 2 exactly. August wrote twice in basic training, saying how everyone was getting on. He struggled at first, but things really started to come together for him once he got into the mindset. Eugen was being as verbose and flamboyant as ever, but ultimately didn't have too much trouble and enjoyed the challenge of taking his higher up orders. Initially, his attitude raised eyebrows, but the Borschbergers still revert him as somewhat of an elder brother. Some of them are well into their 40s, so I guess that says a lot about Eugen's leadership abilities. That and the atmosphere. Unsurprisingly, Wolf was antisocial and difficult. He handled the demanding workload well, but remained obstinate and was regularly disciplined for his attitude towards his superiors. August wrote once more since then, telling me the Borschberg Fellows platoon has been assigned to 8th Company, I believe, and dispatched to the front. They were engaged in digging a trench, which apparently they're going to live in for the time being. That hardly sounded like the most dynamic tactical maneuver, but I later learned that trenches had stretched across Vermorel, and the whole thing was currently somewhat of a stalemate. It's comforting to know where everyone is. It's not actually too far away. Hardly the grand Odyssey Eugen was waxing lyrical about, but then I'm sure it hasn't started properly yet. That over by Christmas thing didn't happen, by the way. It's mid-January now. But hopefully we can still all enjoy spring. At Goes, on our eastern border, or at Goes, let's call it at Goes, I forgot what I called it initially, joined the war pretty quickly, and they're on our side. They're only a small country, but they ought to balance out Leyland's support from Levasseur. Okay. I thought you were more like the overrun Belgium or something like that, but okay. There's a bunch of treaties in place preventing Edgosian forces entering Leyland on an Easter front. The war's in Levasseur, and apparently that's being respected. But given the war is in Levasseur, the Levasseuri forces are hardly afforded a great deal of maneuverability, so things are looking good for us. Sorry, that's all rather irrelevant. As for me, well, I'm doing August's postal route. It's harder than he made it seem. I've messed up so much. Turns out he was better than me at something all along. It's only memorizing addresses, so it hardly would have vindicated him to know that, but nonetheless. The men haven't written in a couple of weeks now. Every day I check the postbag, but nothing. It would be nice to confirm their location hasn't changed, amongst other things, like whether or not they still walk this earth. News of casualties trickle in every now and again, and they seem heavier than people first suspected. There's been few enough that I'm still confident the fellows are unlikely to have become a static, but confirmation would still be very comforting indeed. Wow, how long is this first chapter? I thought this would be the final one, and now I wanted to part it in 2 episodes, but as it turns out... no. Actually, I wanted to do this in one final episode, the final of chapter 1, but it seems chapter 1 is going on. This visual novel will be quite long now, will it? I have nothing against that, I like that. So, I'll probably make 2 episodes then out of this, because this is now pretty long. How long am I recording? Probably something like 40 minutes plus. Oh well. But I gotta say, it's got pretty interesting. I like this game very much so far. From time to time I don't really want to say that, but one or two dialogues so far have been redundant. Like the one with Gerhard, for example. The one you had with Gerhard, the wit points duel, and the talk between Gerhard and Eugen and Wolf, all that was a bit redundant. But except for that, I like the way of writing. It really is interesting, you know, like the level. It's not the level of English you're used to in a visual novel, you know. And even I myself, I realized that there are like I already had just in this Let's Play, I probably have had like 4, 6, 7, 8. I don't even remember how many words I didn't even know. But that is really cool. I really like the writing style. I enjoy it very much. So I have nothing against that. And yeah, it's pretty cool, gotta say. It's pretty cool. But since this is not the end of Chapter 1 and the demo itself, I'll guess we'll push away the review for the end of the chapter. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next one, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.